Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a review of a very interesting wine that I had at a one-star Michelin restaurant here in Vancouver called Ayana Misawa. And they had this wine, so I was so interested in trying it. It's from a winery called Gris Winery in Japan. And it is probably the foremost and most established still wine producer in Japan. It was established in 1923 by Chotaro Misawa, and it's still run by the Misawa family. In 1953, they launched the wine brand for this, and it's actually named, it's a very a good concept because of course, if you had maybe a Japanese name like Ayana Misawa, it's harder for people to pronounce, but Grace is so easy. And it's named after the three graces of an ancient myth. So the current, I guess, manager of the estate, Ayana Misawa, is a great ambassador for their brand. He speaks perfect English. He's studied winemaking in Bordeaux, and he has worked as a consultant with some Australian companies. The grape varietal for this wine is a grape called Koshu. And Koshu is quite, I think, indigenous to Japan. I've never seen it anywhere else. It's extremely delicate, dry, and it is kind of gives you the attributes of sake. So it's very interesting. It's light, it's refined, and it's subtle. And so I thought it was just an interesting drink because I've never seen it before. I've heard about this winery, and it is probably the most famous winery in Japan. Ayana Misawa had it, and this is their entry-level bottle. It was still $200 in their restaurant. A little expensive, but I just wanted to try it. So I'm not sure what it would be retail in Japan, but I just haven't seen it very much in Vancouver. So here is the bottle, and again, it's Gris de Koshu, but I think the actual grape is Koshu, and Gris de is just a labeling thing where it says it's similar to Pinot Gris in terms of the taste. And so you can see it. It's from a product of Japan. And then on the back, 12%. And you know, the wine was named after the color of Koshu. And again, I think this is kind of their entry-level Koshu wine. Let's look at the color of the wine. It is a bit off-white. It's quite light in terms of the color. But if you look at the bottle, it's actually, you can see it's a little bit yellowish, the tinge, the bottle. Let's taste the wine. So I'll let you know that I had it last night at Ayana Misawa, drank most of the bottle. I have just a little bit left. I've stored it overnight in the refrigerator, and now we're re-drinking it again. So let's taste it, and I'll let you note the color, if you see it on the screen, it's off-white. It's not as yellow as you would expect with most white wines that we have, but the bottle is actually yellow. So on the smell, it does have characteristics of the cleanness and clarity of sake at the beginning. I know it's not made with rice, but it does smell like that. And then it has the fruit flavors like apricots, pears, a little bit of tropical fruit. Very clean, but it could be my own thinking or my own bias, but it does to me smell like a little bit like sake. So on the taste, again, fairly light. It's 12%, but it does have those tropical flavors of pears, apricots, a little bit of guava, citrusy notes, lime. I wouldn't say it's like Sauvignon Blanc because it doesn't have that a sharp acidity. You can see the comparison to Pinot Gris in terms of it's got some of that mustiness at the end of this wine. Having said that, it does have certain characteristics of sake. When you first put it in the mouth, it's got a cleanness of almost mulled rice taste, and so that to me reminds me of sake on the first maybe a couple of seconds. Very interesting wine. I think it really pairs quite well with seafood and sushi. So I think it's a better pairing than typical white wines like Champagne or Alsace Riesling or Chardonnay, whatever you would normally, Sauvignon Blanc normally pair with it. It does have a little bit of cross between a sake and a still wine. So I can see why it's so well used with Japanese food, particularly seafood. My rating of this wine, I'm going to give it 88 points. Hope you've enjoyed this tasting. Until next time, happy drinking.